You know, teams, they have the specific playstyle that will sometimes match up in your favor, or sometimes you find it impossible to play against. For example, when I was in Europe, scrimming and playing Pro League, we couldn't beat Empire half the time. They were so goddamn good, and just like, I don't know what they did differently, but it just worked against us. With EvoXG, they can actually show up this time and do something about it. All but events in the first map are underway. Twitch will be ripped off first from Space Station. OXG to follow up with the Ying ban.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good Twitch play yesterday from both Oxygen and Karn & Co. and Space Station, to be honest, as well. So a lot of Twitch getting a lot of work done yesterday in the quarterfinals, move on to the semifinals, but the status still remains equal. It's do or die. Every single game, every single best of three, it's a single elimination bracket, and the stakes are even a little bit higher than Atlanta being the only thing on the line, as the Desk touched on. 6 Invitational. Neither of these teams having the stage 1 performance they would have wanted. They are not currently in a position to lock in SI on points. There are no more direct qualifiers to SI. It's just the top 20 teams on points. So both of these teams, whoever walks away from this with an L in the series, is pretty much guaranteed to not be going to Atlanta and the 6 Invitational. That's a lot of time to be sitting at home and watching your other competitors in North America go to events and try and take titles that you feel like you should have been there to participate in. There's so much on the line here for both of these teams, and these are some very interesting maps like the Desk touched on. Border to start things off, this is going to be a fireworks show.
Yeah, and speaking of performances, I like that the Desk brought it up because Newers, while he had a great maps yesterday, should I say, in the quarterfinals, he, over the entire stage has just been the guy, he's not him anymore. Newers came to the scene in pro play, and he was top in the charts, phenomenal entry player, top in statistics, plus in kill death ratios, etc. And then this stage, he's just been missing, frankly. And that's the surprise to me, is that, Space Station, they've undergone roster changes. They kind of merged some of the Astralis roster with the SSG roster, and here they are. They're doing pretty well. And you have OXG, they made no changes. They have Fish, but other than that, they kept things the same, right? Same core, and they're also here. So I feel like this shouldn't really be the case. It was hard to predict for this scenario to be the reality of things. But I like that OXG is still kicking the fight and trying new things because of their lack of success early in the stage, and it's kind of what I think has forced some flexible changes to the lineup. For example, how often do you see Foxay play Monty? Let alone, how often do you see Foxay play Monty on Border, or for that reason, anyone play Monty on Border? This is a bit of an odd one, but it could be the missing piece for OXG.
Talked about the win streak on Border for Oxygen as well, and like you touched on as well, Newers had an amazing performance yesterday against Karn & Co., an admittedly tier 2 team as compared to SSG, who are their long-term rivals. But Newers' performance earlier on in this stage, like you said, a little absent, a little lower than expected, and it was Yaga to fill in his stead to pick up the pace on attack and on defense in terms of acquiring those opening picks and being dominating throughout the round. Yaga had a bit of an off performance yesterday, so we're looking to see Oxygen have both of their star performers participating in the match equally, and as I say that, Yaga will start things off, and a frag grenade from Newers, so I ask for it and they deliver. A beautiful start here for Oxygen.
That's exactly what they need. The grenade actually hitting Ashen on impact and bounces, back towards the corner to secure the kill. And now we can expect OXG to slow things down, play around Foxy on the Monty. He's gonna dabble in, get some intel, yellow pings coming out, etc. And they can make all these following decisions with clean and pure intel. It should be a relatively easy plan. There's only one small issue. SSG, they do have one player below that could cause havoc. It is full Stone Legion, so no C4, but does have one impact in pocket. If he knows the plant is going down, he can stop it.
You see him looking up through the floorboards, but he's holding radio window at the moment. He's not holding the back of the bomb site, so this could be very troubling. His Force will now meet his demise as Newers on a rampage to start. Here come the impacts being ripped from Faults, looking skyward, but there's no pings coming out. Foxay has made it in onto the bomb chassis, and the plant is going down. Here comes the impact from underneath. Faults able to dispatch a Foxay. The diffuser is surrendered, but now the drop from the Nomad will take care of Faults, and now it's just Hot and Cold remaining, spraying wildly with the Vector into the depths of Archive, but not finding a lethal blow. The plant being reinitiated, and Hot and full blinded, has nowhere to go, stuck at the top of metal stairs, and Oxygen putting a defiant start to the round.
That was very clean. I mean, they didn't really have any obstacles anywhere on the map. Okay, sure, Foxy died while trying to plant the Monty, but the second after, Yogg is downstairs on the Nomad cleaning up fools with the kill. So they just trade 1-for-1 essentially. And they already had 5 people alive against 3 defenders, so you're gonna have 4v2. It's an easy round for them. And we talk about certain players have to step up, Yogg and Newers, and they get the first and the second kill to follow as well. It looked like Space Station were opting for a very strategical, structured round, holding office with the crossfires, with the feed holes on that triple soft wall, etc. And it looked good on paper, but sometimes a good setup just isn't all that good because, a good shot or two, a well-placed grenade, it can completely destroy any setup that you might have had and just swing that round on its head immediately. And I think it also makes sense for SSG to just change the bomb site as they do here. You go from playing upstairs to playing terrace bathroom instead. And you can kind of get more active with their roam. I think Space Station, they excel when they're actively moving, not necessarily when they're sitting stuck in corners like in that previous round.
Yeah, and you can see the amount of work that had been done towards break room and towards the 90 hallway, the castle barricades, the shotgun holes opened up to be able to see onto New Balcony and Top East. So many impediments for Oxygen to work through had they initiated that push, and yet they completely ignored it. They get the opening picks into office. The majority of the attack comes from outside the office balcony, and then Foxay works his way into Fountain. But really, all of that work and all that utility that was set up by Space Station, all the strats that Lax had talked about call out possibly cooking up for this game, really just getting avoided entirely by Oxygen on the attack, focusing on the bomb site. It works wonders for them to start things out. And like you said, we're going to swap up the bomb site, head downstairs to bathroom and tellers. Not going to retry armory just as of yet for Space Station. Going to get one on the board, get back into this game. I don't imagine anyone is going to be taking a strong lead in this series. It's probably going to be going back and forth all day long.
I really like the Monty on Foxy. He did a great job at it. He's on Brava duty now. This is like, if there's a Brava player in North America, it's Foxy. And it's not uncommon for teams to actually ban the Brava on maps like Chalet against Oxygen because of how good he is at using the Brava drones. Just finding, both the default cameras and utility, etc. And Foxy, he's just become, a really stable support leadership role. That's what happens when you play for as many years as he has since the very beginning. You might be a young gunner at some point, but if you play for long enough, you will eventually become a Thermite main or a support player, and there's nothing wrong with that. Use that experience to lead your younger players into battle. OXG, they're doing that right now, and they're taking their time, making sure that all attackers, they stay upright and alive. But this is that bathroom bomb site, so they got a lot of map to work with. And look at this, James sprints in, tosses Selma straight onto an electrified wall. Hot and Cold can destroy the second tick here if he wants to. Impact does it instead. So line of sight opened up, but no entry path for OXG. They still don't really have a way in here to break this defense.
No, you can see the Kiba barriers going to patch up that hole, and it seems like Newers just hit a Kapkan trap downstairs as the progress up top for Oxygen here is not going the way they wanted to. Failed entry in towards Armory, a failed entry in towards Fountain. They haven't been able to displace any of these defenders playing topside, and J90 will avoid the frag grenade coming up from underneath, and that should trigger the information for Forest here to be able to drop down. But there goes Newers, the second frag grenade, following up onto J90. Vault's holding from inside of the bomb site is going to have 2 Oxygen attackers descending upon him. The Vault into the teller's window, and the plant being going down, and J90 cannot win. Newers on the coverage, Yogg completing the plant, Dream filing in, the Nitrocell goes soaring, will drop Yaga. So there goes the planter for now. The diffuser surrendered on the teller's floor, but a 2v4 to work out of for Space Station, make it a 2v3. Hot and Cold had a fantastic series yesterday. Can he replicate the performance here with Ashen? No, Hot and Cold will be dropped inside of tellers. The diffuser still needs to be recovered with 10 seconds on the clock. It's going to come down to the knife's edge, but Ashen playing alone inside of the bathroom is the last man standing. Will win the first fight onto Fish. The plant going down. He has a 1v1 against Foxay, sprinting across the door frame, but Fox will hit the preemptive shot through the wall, and look at the celebration on that man's face.
Yep. When you're in those 2 versus 1s and you're thinking, okay, who should be the person planting and who should be the person covering? And you're thinking, if Foxy is up and alive, we just spoke about him being an old player, he should be the one planting, right? Wrong. What comes with experience is staying really calm and collected in those clutch moments. We see Ashen going for it. He's the young gunner, but Foxy, he stands his grounds, go for the wallbang, secures the kill. And the things that really start that off is, once again, Newers actually putting himself in the front and doing so with success. Grenade gets the opening kill. He has a second follow-up cover on the window as well. And that's the thing. We all know this. When you're fighting against Diana on these really small angles or windows, etc., it can be kind of difficult to see your head. You know, it's a pale face with pale hair. It just kind of blends in with a lot of surfaces. And it looked like that was a bit of an issue there for Space Station. Couldn't quite see exactly where Anna was standing at. It's 2 rounds for OXG. Falls right here, you see it. Where's the head? Oh, it's hard to see. He whips just a teeny tiny bit. Unlucky.
5 seconds left. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
I think that's back-to-back rounds now. Oxygen have displayed an excellent mid-round adaptation, recognizing the setup from Space Station, realizing they weren't making any progress about 2 minutes into the round towards a top clear, and avoiding it entirely once again, just going site direct, but having the presence of mind to know that if you're not going to be able to clear out anyone but J90 topside, there are still going to be defenders up there holding the bathroom hatch, but if you focus on a teller's plan and your coverage is good from Newers like we saw in that round, you can get a teller's plan going. Beautiful recovery there on the round for Oxygen when it seemed like they were stalling out at the worst possible time. Fultz will start things off though. On to Newers. 5 kills for the first 2 rounds for Newers, but he will not be long for this world in round number 3.
Well, I mean, someone's got to open the door for Foxy and Monty. That's one of the downsides. You can't just walk up and punch it, so it's going to stall things out a little bit here from the attack. And Fultz in the Asami is on one of these positions that you often will fight your way out of or simply die in, because there's no way out seemingly here for him. But he's playing it so well. The Asami, a direct counter towards any entry paths for Foxy, so Monty is basically forced to go elsewhere or again call for backup. So Fultz is soaking up soft breaches, he's soaking up flashbangs, you know, already got a kill, etc. as well. There's no way folks should really deal with this position right down these stairs.
See Fox eating up some util on the side of the defense as well as Forrest launched an impact out through the new balcony window. But Fultz, he perseveres. He remains at the top of these stairs. He survived the onslaught of soft breach from the Ash. Fish's range breaching charges not able to displace these Kiba barriers with the assist from the magnets of Forest. So the teamwork there. Now Fish is going to opt to just headlong push straight into break room. He's going to find a freebie onto Forest, looking for even more, but traded out immediately from Fultz, who refuses to get out of his bunker position on top east. J9 taking some damage in CCTV. Now it's a 1v1 against the Monty as Dream and Yaga try to recollect with Foxy at the top of these stairs. A lot of separation between these OXG attackers.
Yeah, a bit of a blunder from Fish, right? Because he knew Fultz was playing on East Stairs. Foxy has been there the entire round, yellow pinging and saying that out loud, but he swings with a wallbang instead towards 90, so just killing Fultz for free. Big mistake, and the thing is, Fultz actually survives, runs away, still has one keeper in pocket. Foxy is next in line, but no, it's gonna be shut down from Dream onto Fultz instead.
We can push forward.
See the teamwork working a lot better here, but the mirror window still providing a lot of coverage in towards CCTV, as not a lot's been done here for OXG to be able to make that a safe haven. So the Montana Fox will start pushing into the fountain double door. Here comes an ace charge, but there's the Nitro Cell collecting onto Fox. The mirror will get popped from Ashen, so he'll just hold this position and sandwich inside of office until his demise. Try to take as many with him as he can. He will spray out for another one, looking for all 3 on the round. J90 will tag in for the assist, and that is Space Station winning the defense topside, getting on the board in this series.
Very impressive that Space Station can stay so consistent in that round without really moving a whole lot. I was critical of the first 2 defenses where they're all just playing in corners. And the missing link seems to just be forcing the Asami because he did so much work single-handedly. Although I will say, the fact that Newers died early has a massive outcome on these rounds because he is your typical entry player for OXG. And we see Fultz getting that kill very early on. No one really took that position that Newers normally plays, besides maybe Fish when he swung 90, but he died immediately after getting a kill. And that's really it. OXG, they're so, I want to say like top-heavy in the way that Newers has been performing consistently ever since he joined the team. And they've never really had the what if Newers has like a bad series or a bad game or a bad period. Because he's been so damn consistent. And then, you know, yesterday, he pops off. OXG barely win. And you're thinking, unless Newers or Yogg, they pop off here against SSG, do they have a realistic chance here?
10 seconds to go.
And I'm not entirely sure. It has been just a very inconsistent stage for them, but I will say it's very clear that when Newers doesn't find success in the rounds, Oishi, they struggle to replace him. I want to see a bit more from Yogg here. I know it's border, it's hard to get inside the map, it's hard to find opening engagements, but Yogg and Newers are both typically playing the grenades, they're playing similar operators, they can both kind of get themselves in the right positions, but before they can even get to the building, Fultz once again will get the opening kill. This time onto Foxy, which is might just be the highest value operator that he can kill. It's Dokkaebi with the global gadget who can hack the cameras while Valkyrie's on the board, and it helps with the roam clear. This pick cannot be underestimated. This is a massive kill onto Foxy.
You see the operator swap here as well for Newers getting onto the Brava, taking it away from Fox to facilitate his Dokkaebi play, and that's just not going to be a factor on the round, and neither will Fish on the Ash. J9O peeking out from inside of Archives, it appears, to drop another one of the OXG attackers so quickly. There's a 2-0 lead for OXG with some pretty convincing adaptations on the attacking side, and now it's Space Station getting a little more aggressive, getting a little more in Oxygen's face, repelling the entry into the building. Now they've set themselves up well here in round number 4. Fragment will be caught by the ADS on against this soft mirror window into the mini office, and it's just the last 3 remaining attackers for OXG trying to find something, but again, very spread out, each trying to accomplish their own mission across the map. Dream and Yaga will recollect inside a break room, but pushing in towards getting top control from ventilation and workshop, it's going to prove mighty difficult, even with getting rid of this mirror window.
Oh boy. Not that you see aggression, because that's the thing, SSG, they played super passive and far back, and all of a sudden, they're the ones swinging into the fights every single time right here, and they're doing it so well.
And you need a Newers to show up, and there he goes. Unfortunately down, so it leaves Yogg alone, who had a nice shot on the C4 to save his own life. Newers taking some even more damage while being injured, and everyone for Space Station bailing out now, not continuing to hold the top. So Newers could be revivable here. The Valkyrie cameras are worried that they might have intel inside of Archives knowing that Newers is down. And attempting to go for the revive could prove deadly, as we saw in the last series, an attempted revive in Armory not going very well. He is on concrete, and it looks like the res will be initiated for Yogg here. So for 45 seconds, OXG, no, he's baiting it out, making sure there's nobody flanking up metal to be a surprise factor. But for 45 seconds here, it will have Newers and Yaga trying to work their way out of a 2v3. The top frags for this team, the leaders in terms of entries and overall performances lately. We're going to have to work a miracle as Newers will make his way outside of the ventilation window. Force playing in the main hallway underneath the default cam with an M870. So against that 20 HP that's left on Newers, it's going to be devastating. But here comes the sledgehammer from above, not destroying the floorboards the way you want. But there goes Newers for his 3rd on the round. He equalizes the man count. Yogg dropping into workshop now. Good attempt to plant as the time is ticking away, but here comes Fultz, but as he sprints, Yogg with the anticipation, lasing shots in towards workshop now. It's hot and cold, trying to retreat from the blue hallway. The plant going down, Newers hits a goo mine, so taking even more damage, but Yaga! What an incredible comeback for Newers and Yaga, revived from the grave, and it's OXG up 3-1.
Oh my god, you'd never expect that to be the outcome of that round, and the coordination there was beautiful. The second that Yogg goes to the sledgehammer swing right above Forrest inside of the main lobby, you know, Bandit looks up, and the same second, Newers starts spraying down the door, isolating that kill. And that's such a huge moment because it allows the entry towards the bomb site. They can drop down that hatch and get presence and try and get down that diffuser. SSG, they're a very disciplined team, but look at this. The red ping onto the planter forces Yogg off, and he swings the hallway instead. You know when you play ranked and you have like yellow pings and that one teammate goes to the red ping instead, alerting the enemy? That's pretty much what just happened. Where it's like, we know where he is. We don't have to tell him that we know. So by simply yellow pinging and communicating verbally that, hey, he's planning on this position right here, that's enough. But if you also go in with the red ping, you can actually change the outcome of that round, because all of a sudden you put the Yogg rather, very into like this alerted state where, okay, they're probably gonna be flanking. Something's about to go down. Why am I getting red pinged? So the discipline from SSG looked great to start things off, but also at the same time it led to their demise in that round. A round that they shoot at 1, instead goes to OXG. They're up 3-1.
Just a beautiful performance, and especially it looked like a solo entry from Newers into Archives as well in the Brava. So that's a low fire rate weapon. He hit some nice headshots even while being down and taking damage from multiple angles. So for Newers, an all-star performance on the round, and Yaga, the anticipation on Fultz coming back from customs. Again, just perfect timing as he catches Fultz sprinting. That really kind of saves the round there. There wasn't really enough coverage there from Newers to be able to stop Fultz from dropping Yogg. Now Fultz taking damage and finished off by Fish, and he'll spot the Valkyrie camera. So a very good start to the round here for Oxygen on their entry topside.
A very good start, and Fultz had no backup. The closest member was inside a fountain. That's gonna be Mira and Hot and Cold, and that's, you know, a full room away from you. I mean, of course, you're not going to expect anyone to jump in the CCTV window 20 seconds into the round. You know, that's not Fultz's bad. But it does leave a small gap and opportunity that could be taken advantage of there from OXG to do just that. The yellow pings to pre-play C4s and play on the armory side of things. If Yogg is unfortunate, oh, he's not. Not a single point of damage was done, and they find the second Valkyrie camera as well. What a nice long spray down from J90. Find an easy kill onto Yogg. Keep the IQ here. Keep securing those Valkyrie cameras. Very important. We see him do this time and time again, where you just stay outside the building, scan for the cameras, ping them so that when the entries walk inside, you can shut them down. And that's exactly why the C4 didn't find the kill. It's these small things with a massive impact in these rounds. And OXG, whenever they get these leads, they just kind of say, stop. Play far back, no one throw their lives away. Take it nice and slow, utilize the timer, and then go again. Call comes out. You can hear it. Telltale sign of something's about to go up or something's about to go down. Ashen with a nice rotate into pass. We're gonna crawl through the hole. But the issue is, the door's barricaded. He can't quite get into open area. Just shoot him the door and expose his position. And OXG, they're using every single second that they have available to them. 40 seconds left and no top floor is clear. Surely they think here they can drop down the hatch. They did not see Forest. He doesn't have a C4. No reason to expose himself. They gotta wait here for OXG to make the first move. They need to plant, they need to cover. They did so last time successfully in the clutch, but this time they got the advantage. Forest could be the hero here. With 20 seconds, they gotta drop soon, but the Engine spray goes so completely wide. Misses everything. Stream to get the kill. J90, second man here to try and get the clutch. No, he finds one. Newest finds one before that as well. The cover is not there. It's so scrappy and missed with 5 seconds left. The shotgun second swing comes up, but it's OXG finding the round victory because all 4 members are within an inch of one another. They can secure the kill with a really messy trade. It shouldn't be this close, but it is.
Hey, bud. I'm back.
Hello. Welcome back.
That was quite the hectic round. And honestly, for Oxygen there, very impressive to be able to push on through. I think for Oxygen on these rounds right now, they're just recollecting themselves later on in the round, being able to provide some good adaptation, being able to read out Space Station's defenses and find the opening that SSG are leaving. They're capable of being able to exploit the one position they need to be able to push their advantage in every round. And I've seen this every time now for Foxay on his face cam. The elation, the emotion. We talk about the stakes that are on the line for both of these teams in regards to not only this series, but the series after for the victor. There's a lot on the line here. And my only concern here, and we've both been in situations like this before, where you just don't want to expend all of your energy too early. There's an entire best of 3 here, and now there's an entire best of 3 after this if you win.
Yeah, it's and this is where experience comes into play. Someone like Fish, who doesn't have the experience of like these kind of long, intense days at tier 1 level of play, it's up to his teammates to kind of, you know, make him understand. Same thing for Ashton, obviously, right? To be like, guys, don't blow it all in game number, or that first map. We got possible 6 maps today. But there's a second worry here. Sure, it's, you know, it's border, or she's on attack, the arguably stronger side, but it's not a great beginning for SSG because they picked border. They were like, yo, we want to go here. We're prepared, we're prepped, we're ready. And while they do get the opening kill half the rounds, the other half is just very one-sided. Usually it's Fultz to do the opening killing, but it's Forrest in this round. He got the first kill for him. It's 1 of 5 currently. So we can officially say that it's a 5 versus 5 game. Everybody's got a kill in the server. And the only thing for OXG that they keep changing is that when they attack Armory upstairs, Foxay's on Monty. That's the only big flex operator. Sure, they play a little bit of line, a little bit of Doki, a little bit of Nomad, but those are like small minor changes that kind of helps you achieve your goal. Whereas Monty's more like an entire team playstyle change here. It's gonna be another slow one for XG, and they're already playing with a man down. But Newers is still alive though, those 10 kills. He could probably find another kill in this round as well.
Forrest looking for even more here as he's swinging out, contending with the drones, and Foxay has made his entry into top east now. Okay, midway point in the round, but here's some support from Ashen as well, trying to reject the entry into break room. Everybody on OXG getting tagged up slightly. There goes a nitro cell, and Ashen will drop fish. Peeks from Newers, not able to collect inside a fountain, so 3v5 to work out of a two-man disadvantage. Newers barely spotting the head of Forrest, brushing by the door frame, but there goes J90, spotting him prone inside of the radio window. So now it's a shield and a dream to try and pull this round out for Oxygen, trying to establish a 5-1 lead heading into the half. Right now it looks like Space Station have gotten well under control. Forrest does get spotted here inside of CCTV up against the Montaigne. He gets knifed down. So that's one of the 5 that Oxygen needed to find.
Oh boy. Monty in a 1v1, it's always a really good time if you're the Monty. In that case, Forrest not having a very good time at all. Dream's second time this game, just kind of preemptively tossing out a Selma, but there's a Bandit battery on the wall that's Fultz getting good value of the gadgetry there. Of course, you'd expect OG to play together, with Foxy leading the charts, giving intel to Dream to get the kills, but instead they're playing split right now. Foxy's out of 90, and Dream's out of office. To find J90, they gotta make their next move right now as to how they play out this position.
See the yellow pings coming out from Fox, trying to relay the intel to Dream. Is the only one with an automatic weapon left in this round for Oxygen. The pre-fires with the pistol, but there goes the sneak from Ashen. Man, yellow pinged previously, coming up metal stairs. Now it's Dream alone in a 1v4. Some good damage done to Ashen and J90. The swing into Fountain, he'll be cut through from behind. The soft wall of Archives being the demise of Dream, and Space Station able to salvage the last round of the first half.
What a great crossfires when that 4 versus 2 from Space Station. I mean, there was really no gaps and no ways in whatsoever on both fronts of like middle stairs and 90, as well as Dream instead of office / fountain. That looked more like an SSG round than the previous ones. Good opening, good adaptation to the mid-game, and of course that discipline in the late round as well. And they get the 2-4 half, which is exactly what they would want in like a worst case scenario at least. You don't want to go 1-5, obviously. And it's going to set them up for a success here on the side swap. Here to see what they're going to bring out. I really like the Monty from Foxay. It had mostly good results, 2 victories, 1 loss. But overall, I think it's a good look for them. I didn't know Foxay actually enjoyed or liked playing that particular operator either, because it is one of those majority of players are not comfortable playing shield operators like the Clash, the Monty, and the Blitz. But then you have a handful that really enjoy it, and they're so scary that you have to target ban them. We saw in the previous matchup, you know, Spirits on a wild card. Well, Mirage, they banned his Blitz in both of the 2 maps that we just witnessed because it's just that good. Foxay, sometimes he'll bend the Brava against him, like I mentioned earlier. If he keeps bringing up the Monty and OG can find success with it, that could be another optional target ban for the opponents later on. But now it's XG's turn to attack the quote-unquote favorable side of border. And there is 1 star operator that I really want to look at here. That's Hot and Cold on the Nook. Ever since Nook received the quote-unquote nerf recently, where you're no longer like silent when you activate your gadget into some movement, a lot of pro players have gone away from this operator and just not really ever looked back. But Hot and Cold, one of the few players in North America, one of the few players in the world who is still bringing Nook with a high frequency and finding a ton of success. Same playstyle, that lurking, flanking, you know, phantom presence, you don't know where I am type vibe, with the grenades below. Hot and Cold is meant to do it.
Yeah, we saw that a lot yesterday. So much success being had on Skyscraper, especially from Hot and Cold with his Nook play. And I think, like you said, it's a very rare operator to see these days. Just rewind the clock about 12 months, and you would have seen everyone running a Nook to start things off. Lots of frag grenades available, and now really Nook, one of the only 2 viable operators to bring frags. I guess you could bring frags on the Glaz if you were really good at
Oh, no.
Loading new mag.
No, no,
We
let's not
haven't
do
seen that come out just yet. The cursed setup. Yogg still holding inside of CCTV, though, has evaded the frag grenades. There are 4 at the disposal for Space Station. The yellow ping's flying, and you can see all 4 frag grenades coalesced in supply downstairs for Space Station. But Yaga, he's still standing, holding out for now. And honestly, it doesn't seem like SSG can get a beat on him as Yaga continues to move and rotate. Newers will grab the first pick. Fultz will trade out Yaga now, so CCTV gets cleared up. They didn't need the frag grenades to open up the room, but instead they get the opener, and Ashen will be the one to fall on the side of Space Station.
Reloading.
Yeah, the nades weren't needed below in the end, but it's so much, manpower allocated to an area that now is completely irrelevant. It's time, drones, and nades spent at getting pretty much nowhere. There's 3 drones left for SSG. The bomb site is not security. It is upstairs, but it's across the map, it's inside of Armory and Archives. So with limited intel, with only a single grenade, no flashbangs, SSG they gotta advance now. Open up the walls, hit the bomb side, and J9 with a flank from Archive side, find stream as well. That's a good sign for OXG. But they got more work ahead of them. Fish got a C4 in pocket, as does the rest of OXG's defensive lineup, so a lot of self-destruction from below, on the bomb side itself could occur.
That last frag grenade getting used, the attack in. Fish able to repel the entry into Armory, but a good trade out as he tries to drop the hatch from Forrest, who was playing down below, trying to utilize that frag grenade. But here goes Fox with the shotgun at the top of metal stairs. Houghton was debating going for a plant, initiating it. He'll evade, and Nitro still playing in the back of half wall, and he'll win out the engagement against Fox, but at about 1 HP remaining. It's Newers alone in the 1v2, and he cannot remove J90 from the AC balcony. And Space Station winning their first attack.
What a great read from Hot and Cold. I mean, that gunfight is basically that's round defining. If Hot and Cold loses that gunfight, Diffuser's on the bomb side, J9 on the Archives balcony windows, gotta jump in, there's no time to rotate. I mean, Hot and Cold starts with 1 HP, so it's indeed very close. Both teams really fighting it back and forth. But the adaptation here, mid-round, Foxy actually finding gaps and finding openings here. Flanking Fountain, shotgun comes out, tosses C4, rotates through a net. Hot and Cold's HP, 1 more bullet. And Foxy would have basically closed out the round, or most likely at least for his team. It's close, but not close enough. We're gonna have a quick pause real quick before getting back into the action and just ensure that everything's working right.
Like you said before the start of that, the round before that one, is you really don't want to be in a situation where OXG is 2 rounds away from being able to lock things out, and Space Station winning 2 rounds in a row. So now it's brought back down to a 4v3 in terms of the score line, and this is a good position to be in for Space Station, working their way back in after it was 4-1. Things were starting to get away from Space Station a little bit, like you say, playing a little static, not really having much mobility to their game, and wasn't really working out on the defense, but now on the attack, they're going to have much more maneuverability. And you can see that as well with the amount of focus that was paid to CCTV, and yet J90 able to sneak his way over towards the Archives balcony and get a pick onto the site as well when no one's paying attention. Just SSG playing that maneuvering game and playing with those feints, putting so much focus on CCTV, and then a surprise flank coming in from J90, and then the plant reattempt comes out towards Armory. It's back and forth, and makes it a confusing game for Oxygen to be able to read out.
No, it is. And that's the thing about Border, is that there's a lot of long lines of sides. So if you... Oh, look at the background. What do you see?
Cat.
It's a cute little titty cat. Is that a dog or a cat technically? I'm not even sure, honestly. But it's cute. I like it. We have a lot of pets in the background of players, typically. Also, it's a well-made bed, One thing that esports players typically get wrong is that the beds aren't made, the room is messy, it's a goddamn mess, Hot and Cold, he's clean with it.
Many bombs as they can.
I could never have my webcam facing my bed. I don't think I've made my bed in... I don't want to say the number of years, because it's very embarrassing.
Hey, there's those and those. There are those who believe that making the bed first in the morning is, the greatest life hack in the world. It's literally going to make you a millionaire, successful, hot, handsome, and everything else. And then there are us, where we wake up and we realize we gotta sleep in this in like 16 hours, so why even bother making it in the first place?
We're ready for company.
I only feel this one. But, you can face camera elsewhere.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Lynx, he got told once that you gotta make your bed when you're on broadcast, buddy.
5 seconds left.
Which is true. You can't have a messy bed on broadcast. Come on, Lynx. Alright, sorry, by the way.
No, Carter can't have his bed messy. A player can, because a player is more important than a caster.
Oh. true and real. We wouldn't have anything to talk about if these players weren't so good at the game, right? They make us get to the front of them. And defend.
Exactly. Yeah. So we start things out here for Oxygen on their second defense, not looking to run things back topside. Instead, they're going to go to Ventilation and Workshop as well to try and get a stranglehold on the defensive rounds. And Space Station, once again, paying close attention to down below inside of Customs, using a can opener breaking through detention, and a lot of focus paid towards CCTV, although Forrest, as always, he is 2-7 right now, hasn't had too much of an impact, but this man is running straight towards the bomb site into Bathroom, but he gets shut down. Fish with a good reaction, hot in the middle of the bomb site as well. Space Station trying to ramp up the tempo, and they're getting rejected on entry.
I know that this didn't work, so it looks really silly from them, but I love that they tried that play. It's classic Forest action, classic SSG, where you just make this really out of sync push somewhere, and you can either win or lose the round right there. Now SSG gotta pick up the pieces. Yage is next in line of 5, but he's safe behind this half wall. He can't really get clear, so there's no nasty attack inside of here.
J90 making his entry into Archives as well to try and provide a pinch, but two defenders up here holding a crossfire well. The Nitro Cell, the second one that goes soaring, will connect on default. J90 winning out his engagement against Foxay, but he's still got defenders to worry about inside of Armory. Sprays in towards the half wall. Ashen will collect onto Yaga as well, so there's some Armory control established, but at what cost? Is now Ashen down to about 15 HP. Fish going for the flank here too, and I'm not sure that anyone is aware. Walk down the metal stairs will not be heard. He does have the pre-aim in towards Customs and drop Stream, leveling the man count. Still health advantage and now topside control here for Fish. The plant is going down from Ashen. Fish will be able to spring right above him and stop it in its tracks. So now a 1v2 for J90, looking skyward for the default cam first, not picking up the diffuser as of yet, as it is still surrendered at that workshop door. Still looking skyward for any potential of Fish to expose himself to one of these kill holes. Recovers the diffuser, and now he's going to go topside. He does have the time to take these engagements as separate 1v1s. This is smart here from J90, and he wins it. A beautiful flick onto Fish, and now he's got the 1v1 against Newers. He's got the longer scope range. He's got the assault rifle, but he does have the bulletproof camera that will be able to see through the smoke and ping him out. Newers, no Nitro Cell remaining. The shots through the wall, and the BP is the demise of J90. And OXG weather the storm of an SSG comeback.
I mean, I really wanted Geno to win that round because he had some crazy shots and he had such a good decision making. But then he sees the bulletproof camera, he's gonna toss out the smokes, and he just talks a little bit to the left. But the issue is the bulletproof camera knows exactly where you are. Even if it can't ping you, dead on between your feet, you can ping right next to it and tell Newers, hey, shoot a little bit more right, and you got him. So it comes down to this really intense, close 1v1, just for J90 to plant with 45 seconds left in a smoke grenade while getting yellow pinged out. Because this pick right here, no intel, just pure confidence and good aim, and then he just walks back upstairs, seeks the engagement, destroys Fish, deleted off the server, just to die like that through the wall. It is unfortunate, but the thing is, you don't really have a lot of options when you want to plant that ventilation bomb site, because if you don't plant, well, Newers is just going to walk away and give you the site itself. If you try and start planting, Newers walks in and knows exactly where you are. There's no real good scenario there for J90 unless the defender of Newers makes a massive mistake. And speaking of mistakes, this bomb site might be one. In the sense that no one plays it,
5 seconds to insertion.
no one likes to play it, but we did see it twice in Brazil earlier in stage 2, and it didn't really work all that well. Because the thing about this bomb site, why no one plays it, it doesn't have like a really clear win condition outside of holding security. Just like when you play Armory, just like when you play Ventilation, but the difference is when you lose security, the attackers get full bomb site control, vertically speaking, by destroying the soft floor. So you need to win and lose the round from one of the hardest spots to play in the entire game of CCTV and Border.
Not opting to reinforce the tension either, as they're not going to invite the hard breach game that usually gets played. Instead, Forrest will have to use his exothermics onto the passport wall, so a lot of openings already made onto the bomb site, but like you said, that's step number 1. Step 2, and the most crucial of all, will be displacing Yaga from CCTV. He's got some support from Foxay out on the new balcony as well, on the Azami, so some Kiba barriers and support as well, making a bit of a maze at a CC. Fox making some kill holes down below just to be sure that SSG aren't going to be going site direct once again. You see a lot of focus here from SSG down below on the first floor, looking skyward down for those kill holes, but Fish not holding. Now faults his nade. It won't connect, but there goes Houghton now, trying to make an immediate entry in towards the bomb site. Fault's taking damage. Hot and cold bleeding out. His Dream is holding out from inside of detention. Ashen arrives into the middle of the bomb site now. Houghton's bleeding out, and it looks like it's going to be SSG to regroup and hold for the retreat for the Oxygen members.
It's been a good bit of like confusion game from the attack inside, because what are they doing? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it works. 2 kills now for Ashen. But as long as OXG have upstairs control, they can hold on. And they got that main guy right downstairs and he loses a 2v1.
Very tough there for Newers, as he's been on a heater once again. His performance from yesterday has certainly carried over today. It hasn't been every single round, but he is still leading the charge by a wide margin. And there goes Ashen with 4 on the round. Talk about him having a slower day yesterday. Now the plant going down from Houghton, who is on 20 HP after being revived and being previously injured. A nice shot there from Yaga, but he can't find Houghton. The plant will be completed inside of supply. So a 1v3 to work out of, but look at how low Ashen and Houghton are. The rappel up onto the CC balcony, I believe that's from J90. The drop into CC, or into customs now from Yaga. Got to worry about Ashen on his flank though. He misses him, so now it's a 1v1 against Houghton inside of supply, but again, un-ADS'd. And that is a good cleanup there for Space Station. Like you said, a confusing attack methodology, but if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where if you're OXG, you're gonna say, these guys are so stupid. Like, what are they doing? But then they completely like swoop you and they win the round. And sure, it's like Ashen walking through the map, picking up 4 kills. It's, you know, a really well played round by him specifically, but OSG could have done much more. Dream died the way he did, getting caught off guard. They keep fighting on his upstairs hold in like the areas that they don't need to worry about that much, right? They don't need to worry about Newers dying inside a workshop. They don't need to worry about Fish dying inside Armory. They need to worry about break room, 90, security, because that gives them again control over the bomb side. And this is one of the issues when you play you know, either a map or a bomb site that you don't play very often, is that you don't have a lot of familiarity with exactly what you should be doing, and maybe also what you should expect from your opponent. And it kind of showed that the OXG didn't have a clear read on the situation, and they didn't have any intel to work with either, really. Yeah, they knew just about what the plant was going down, but they didn't know exactly what was going down, so they couldn't deal with it. SSG gonna change things up. They love the flexibility. Some Nook play earlier from Hot and Cold has turned into Osa instead. The Nook itself hasn't been the most successful at sneaking around because of how OXG, they're playing very tight together, I would say. Not playing that far spread besides the previous round that we just witnessed. Osa might give them some more stability. Those talent shields by great call for a plant down. You can still, of course, walk with the shield in your hands, kind of like a mini Munty or mini Blitz, just kind of shielding yourself from damage, getting some intel. We'll see what he chooses to do here. He's got options to work with at least.
Forrest narrowly missing as Yaga was detected outside in his run out from the CC doorway. Ashen holding the swing from Armory. Some support coming as Fish, who was tagged up, I imagine, on a spawn peak. Can get tagged up once again on the dock, but dealing a bushel of damage as Yaga. The frag grenade comes soaring in, but it's not well cooked. A raw frag grenade being chucked in towards Yaga's position, and Ashen on about 20 HP is going to make a grave mistake and have to bail out of the position. He cannot take the engagement heads up any longer. Oxygen with the opening pick onto Fultz, who's the ace as well, so a lot of potential breaching opportunities taken away from the side of Space Station. The second frag grenade will miss from Ashen as well. So now this is just turning into an Archives try and salvage the round plant here from Space Station. All their focus was initially onto CCTV once again. Now everyone amassing themselves outside of the Archives balcony. It's all going to come down to how well OXG can repel these OSA shields and how well they can repel the plant coming in from Houghton again.
Let's see if he plays it. He's stepping in and out, so I think he's got the read that a C4 is about to arrive at his destination. Of course, the Evil Eye as well is going to be an issue, but we saw Dokobi on the balcony, could shoot it down. That's a great use. Don't aim for the player, aim for the shield instead. Great decision making there from the Maestro. And that's going to make this round a lot harder for SSG. If you're Ashen, I think you type in chat and ask Fish for that last dock stint because you could really need it. For the rest of the SSG, you gotta either make the phone call or kill the Maestro Cam this time. Got it.
Well, there goes Ashen. Doesn't need the stim just yet. Some nitro cells go soaring, but neither of them connect. So Houghton getting the plant down behind the last remaining OSA shield. The swing coming in from Archives, though. Newers, the plant gets completed, though. So J9 now selling out Houghton, but it works out in the end. And now the counter defuse, a bait coming out from Fox, a missed flashbang. This is a nightmare scenario inside of Archives. J9 with another one from out on the balcony will drop Fox. He's trying to defuse, and now the Osa Shield will provide coverage for Fish. The Bailiff out in hand. He's going to have to go for the jump, and I think he knows it based on the angle. Yaga will get behind the Osa Shield, but there's the flank from Fountain, pulling Yaga off the counter. Defuses, the time ticks away. 1 HP remaining. He goes for the heavy swing towards AC, but he doesn't have the angle. The vault out will prove invaluable, and J90 and Space Station, again, the weirdest attacking round ever, but they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Oh my, I mean, the C4s, they go wide, the cover isn't there for the plant, the bomb goes down the very, very final second of the plant timer, and then there's just it's just a bloodbath back and forth. When it comes down to the clutch moments, both teams are playing it very well, but some of the basics and the expectations of these rounds are going the complete opposite direction. Again, starts off great, the counts with the shield, the C4s, they completely miss the hit, they don't do anything. No one's playing downstairs below from OXG, they have no vertical control of the plant deny, and then it comes down to this, the post plant. Out in that window, play far back, wait for the ticks, play off the sound, throw a flashbang, go for the kill. J90 can do it all, besides covering the planter. As long as it goes down, it's all well in the world. Comes down to teammates' trusts in one another, right? If J90 says plant, and you stick it, and you die, you blame him, okay? Because you did what he told you to do. So in that case, Hot and Cold is not the fraud. Did the job. 5-5 now tied up again, and these Space Station rounds, yeah, they're puzzling, but if we're surprised by it, and we got that top-down view, you know, the outlines to the walls, imagine OXG. I mean, they must have no clue what's actually going on in half of these rounds. And it clearly is working. SSG in the last 4 rounds on attack, they've won 3 of the 4. It's a very good pace for them in terms of round scoring.
I think the big puzzling note for me here for Oxygen is just their aversion to playing Bathroom and Tellers. They haven't tried it yet. They've lost topside twice. They've gone to Customs and lost it. They just have no interest in going to Bathroom Tellers for whatever reason. Like you said, Customs does not get brought out on this map very often unless it's a one-off event. And Bathroom Tellers is honestly usually the secondary bomb site, if anything. Workshop and Ventilation has kind of become the tertiary, and for whatever reason, Oxygen, with 2 rounds remaining in regulation here, needing to at least secure 1 to force overtime at minimum. They refuse to go to Bathroom Tellers. They'll run it back on Vent Work.
Do you like the kite play here, just to force out the Thatcher? The door is prepped. Would you say that's worth it, Flint? Because I sure would. Even if it was just a 1-for-1, that's a kite trading for the the primary and only hot breacher off the attack. Like getting the 2-for-1. I mean, that's like a silly play for Newers, but oh my, was it great.
Yeah, absolutely. That is 1,000% worth it, especially considering the Kaid's Electroclaw will remain now and still provide a nuisance for any attackers. There's no possible way to open up this wall now as the hard breach has been removed, like you said. Yaga gets the second one as well, just for good measure. So you still have top control, you still have the Armory half wall, and now it's Space Station. In a 3v4, trying to work their way out of a conundrum yet again. We've seen them do it pretty successfully, though, as J90 will make his entry into into the office double door. They'll stun out into radio window. They know where Fox A is, and Fish actually will be the one to get down there. It was Fox previously. They both fall eventually, and now a 3v4 becomes a 3v2. The cross just missing the retreat of Yaga, as he'll narrowly make his escape downstairs back to the bomb site. But now it's a 40 HP Yaga and 100 HP Dream to try and win out against SSG to at least secure overtime.
That was almost a perfect clean sweep. If they had gotten Yaga as well, they just turned that round from a loss into a victory very quickly. It's still, of course, very winnable for both teams here, but SSG in the stronger position, up 3 players, and they'll just plant, just like that. Off pace, they're good to go.
And Yellow Ping's coming out, so they know where the position is. There goes the Nitro Cell at the feet, and there goes the Diffuser getting dropped, but Ashen will get one before he gets removed. So still a 1v2, and Forrest on 5 HP will try and re-attempt the plant. The coverage from J90 has to be perfect, but here comes the shotgun, and it only shoulders him. J90 wins out against an M590 point blank, and it's SSG on a roll.
Okay, the way that these rounds are gonna go is very simple. Whenever SSG look like they're not supposed to win, and statistically they're completely out of it, they will simply just win those rounds. It's every single time now. Newers makes a play, kills the Thermite, the Thatcher follows shortly after, no hard breach whatsoever. The walls are kited, you can't open them if you had a hard breacher, and yet, SSG, so down so bad, still win it out. What was this? Just a good coordination between Forrest and J9O, using the Sophia concussion mines to find the locations of the rooms up above. But also, of course, whenever these kind of clutch rounds happen, we can also look at, well, who's allowing it to be the case? And usually a big clutch moment, whether it's a team clutch or an individual clutch, it comes down to a mistake from the opponent's team. There are, of course, very rare clutches where you're just destroying the competition, but usually there has to be a gap somewhere. You need to be allowed in and to find those openings. And OXG are playing so far spread apart, whereas if you go back and watch SSG's defenses, sure, they only won 2 out of 6 in the first half, but they're playing much closer together. It's a very day and night difference between how these two teams approach defending on border. And so far, SSG, they have been the more successful. They won 2 in the first half, and so far OXG only have a single defensive round victory. That's at ventilation bombs at round number 2.
Bomb located
Yeah, I
by
think for
attackers.
OXG now, they're going to take a tack time out to talk about how to approach a bathroom teller's defense. But we finally get here. We get all 4 bomb sites run by OXG on this map, which, again, is quite the rarity. But nonetheless, with their backs against the wall on SSG's map pick, they had a 4-2 lead at the half. They had a 4-1 lead, for goodness sake. And like you said, it's a 4-1 that's turned into a 6-5 deficit now for Oxygen to at least force overtime. They can't win it in 12.
10
They're going to have to win it in 14 or 15 at best. Now for Space Station, trying to
5
close it
seconds
out in 12 rounds themselves, and it's been one hell of a performance coming out from J9O and Ashen as well. J9O had a wonderful series yesterday, so did Fultz, and I think for Ashen, it was very up and down. There was a good map in there and a not as great map, and I think for him starting out hot here, it's just going to be a confidence booster for the entire team to be clicking moving forward.
And I know a lot of people, myself included, we always talk Newers, but that was the big question mark in this series, was how is Newers gonna look? Because he's had, you know, the really good and the really bad. And how's Yake gonna look? And so far, I mean, Newers had a phenomenal first map. Yake's been, it's about a slightly below average performance from him, but there's still time to show up, of course. So the star players in both teams, so to speak, they've all been here. They've all had their moments. But the team play, that's what gives you that slight edge in some of these rounds. And that very clearly has been SSG more often than not. Drone work downstairs, spotting out the captain traps, allowing Hot and Cold safe passage throughout customs. And this is the thing, he could walk into side, he could go up the main staircase, he's got a lot of decisions to make here, but he might just find a gap again.
Looks like he's going to. Sounds like the logic bomb was utilized as well to cover the sound of Houghton making his approach downstairs. And he's in the middle of the bomb site now. Knows that no one from Oxygen is playing inside of Tellers. It's just Dream alone in the bomb site. Foxay could retreat. Now Dream, not sure if he's aware of this position. He's very shakily checking the corner of the hallway. And Houghton is just going to sit still for as long as possible. Try and wait for an Oxygen defender to make a mistake. He's cycling the Valkyrie camera, but Dream didn't even spot him. Houghton is not using his ability, but now he is. He's spotting him. He sees him now, and now Dream is going to be calling as the shotgun comes out, turning the corner, and he'll lose again. Hot and cold. What is with these Nooks winning point blank against M590s? The Capcan trap will claim the life of Forest, and here comes the drop from Fish into Workshop to try and support him to the bomb site. No diffuser in control as Forest was the one carrying the diffuser for Space Station, so a tough predicament now for Space Station with site control, but no case control. Fault's getting dropped by Newers as well. 2 members for Space Station playing inside of the bomb site, working out. Ashen will collect another one. Fish goes down. The spray from the corner, not successful from Foxay. And now it's just Yaga and Foxay alone. The Nitro Cell goes soaring, and it will collect. The Nook finally meets her maker. And now it's a 2v2. Trying to recollect the diffuser at the Teller's window is Ashen. And you've got the cover from J9O outside of the Teller's window. Flashbangs going in to try and cover the sound of the vault. The vault in, though, successful. And there goes Oxygen, persevering and pushing back SSG into overtime.
I cannot believe that Hot and Cold got himself into that position. Dream reads it perfectly, flicks on the Valkyrie cam, doesn't see him, double checks, and was like, okay, he's still there. Swaps to the shotgun, and we're all thinking the same thing. Hot and Cold is gonna get absolutely toasted in just a second. And there's no way he wins that, right? He does. Somehow, some way. But there's one small, teeny tiny issue for the attack inside of Space Station. The one man they really needed to survive and get into the bomb site was the one man who died to a Captain trap with the diffuser in hand, and it stalled out everything. You know, you had two players from SSG inside bathroom fighting for their dear life for so long, under fire from 3 or 4 different defenders. Meanwhile, you saw Ash just kind of sit still, being like, okay, I hope someone swings this door that I'm holding because I can't jump in the window, but I know I kind of have to, and I gotta do it soon. Back and forth round again, and if you're an SSG fan, I mean, it's been hard in the past, but these rounds on border, oh my, it is so hard because it's a back and forth, nail-biting rounds. And OXG, they stay in it. They're kind of finding their stride right now, just trying to figure out SSG's attacks, and they looked a lot more comfortable last round how they had to deal with the problems, actually. And this is a best of 3 series. Figure out your opponent during the map number 1, bring that to the following 2 maps if you go there, and all of a sudden, you might just find yourself countering the opponent.
For Oxygen here, they'll be on the defense for 2 of 3 rounds in overtime, which means Space Station will continue onto the attacking side, which I think based on the stats so far would give them the favor, at least the way this map has played out thus far. But we have seen plenty of series that do not follow the trend set in regulation once we flip over to overtime. Once again, Yaga alone inside of CCTV, waiting for the approach from Space Station, and they've shown repeatedly they want to apply as much pressure as possible to CCTV and acquire that map control for themselves. Yaga has shown no fear in terms of being able to peek. He'll swing out and lose almost half his health immediately. But again, Kiba barricading his office window there. And it should be a good position to be in as the frag grenade comes out from down below, and the frags for Space Station finally hitting the mark.
So Ashen in spawn on their scissor lift holding the window. Man, what do you... Get out of there, Ashen. That's right. Run to the building, man. I mean, the classic Lion players, right? You got that global gadget. You can sit back and be so far. No, you can get in the building, man. They get the kill. He was logging down the CCTV rotation, by the way. He was being useful. It's just that the nade below from Force was just too good. That did the job for him. Of course, this is where you want to be. You said in OT, sometimes the statistics, they kind of change on what bomb side and what sides are good. Risk assessment is a big thing in overtime. All of a sudden, teams play a little bit slower, a bit more precautious. That risk assessment of what's worth the risk and what's not worth the risk, when you feel like you're so close to winning but also losing, it can change you. It can change how you play these rounds. Hard and Cold with 2 nades in pocket downstairs could find some tremendous value here if he gets a bit of intel from his teammates on the side itself.
It's the first logic bomb, and trying to use the sound to his advantage. Houghton will miss the first frag grenade, and that'll give the alert bells ringing off for Oxygen, but there goes the second nade onto Newers, doing about 60 damage to him. Dream taking a handful of damage inside of the bomb side as well, and Houghton will drop Fish, I believe, down below. Another frag grenade goes soaring, and SSG has collected 3 kills without actually approaching the bomb site itself. Fox has now dropped down below to try and remove these impediments down below from Space Station. Now ripping out the shotgun and taking damage to the soft wall of Workshop into bathroom. Newers tries to drop the hatch, and he will be felled, so it's just Fox alone, making a flawless round on the attack for Space Station to start overtime.
That was an incredibly clean attack around. Nothing went the wrong way. There are no counters from OXG, and the grenades from below. That is like watching a Pro League game about 1.5 years ago when every single round was like 4 or 6 frag grenades, finding literally more kills in the round than the gunplay. 4 nades were tossed out, 3 of them made direct contact with a player, either getting a kill or doing a significant amount of damage. There we go. That was 1, that was 2, and before that, Newers' health bar right now, that was due to the other nade from Hot and Cold. So basically, 3 nades was basically 3 kills. That is absurd. And I was worried. Oh, wait, we're dancing? There we go. Bit of a tango in the doorway that happens, okay? Especially on border, narrow hallways. But the intel looked like it was a bit lackluster at first. Hot and Cold was like kind of fishing, as I say with the grenades, kind of, okay, maybe this will hit. Okay, it didn't, too bad. But then they had the Dokkaebi calls come out, somebody was thrown in the bomb side, and the Lion scan came out on top, which spotted both the flanker of Fish and the side player of Dream. And then they just instantly capitalized and taken those kills for absolutely free.
10 seconds left.
And SSG are going to be feeling great here going into defense. When you have that kind of attack around to start things off in overtime, you're just like, you feel like you're in their head. So OXG, they got a tall task ahead of them. If you're a Space Station defending Armory, you're gonna expect Foxay on the Monty. Why? Because every single defense on Armory, all 3 times, it was picked twice, sorry. Both times, it was brought out by Foxay. So a common factor there. But the thing is, there's no real counter operators from the defensive side. Yeah, Ash and Asami, you can block Munty out, we saw Fultz do that. And you got Fultz this time on Smoke, you can gas out the Munty, do some damage. But no Echo, no C4s besides Hot and Cold is playing side usually. So Foxy could find a tremendous amount of value in this round if he can actually, you know, with the back of his team, progress through E stairs into office, etc.
It is going to be the first hurdle here for Fox to maneuver through, and it seems like he's getting some better progress with the assist of the Flores Rotero drones coming out from the Fish playing on top of the roof. Two of them have now opened up doorways for Fox to be able to push on through. Lots of droning being done towards office once again, as it really does seem like we're going to have a wraparound towards archives once again for Oxygen. Monty's still taking its sweet time from Fox, just trying to assess the situation and gather as much intel as possible. And you can see the rotations here from Oxygen as well. Newer's down below, going to try and utilize the frag grenades with the same effectiveness that we just saw from Space Station. Got Flores, or the Fish of Flores downstairs with him as well outside the vent window. So some good work could be done here with some intel. Newer's making his way into Workshop. This could be devastating, as having as much control down below. Forest inside a bathroom, though, could be the one thing that SSG, or Oxygen haven't accounted for.
Seems like they might have a good read, though. Not sure they droned it out, but they see the holes in the wall, and they assume, right, flashbang goes in, and Forest, now he knows that they know that he's here. If he can find a kill, it'd be huge for him, but it's not going to be easy.
Lots of pre-fires against the pings, and Forest will win it out. A good shot there to drop Newers as well. The sledge and the frag grenades taken off the board, the only ones, the availability for Oxygen. We're now ticking away with the last minute on the round. Oxygen needed to progress back towards the bomb site, a situation where Forrest played his life and said, I'm just taking one with me. He did it darn well. Now Fultz with the opportunity, still with 3 toxic babes to really gas out Archive for the rest of the round. Fox with the diffuser trying to work his way in. There goes the first smoke. I don't think it actually landed directly in front of Fox, though. I believe that was actually towards radio window or in towards fountain. Nonetheless, Fish is establishing himself. There goes the second smoke grenade onto the door. So it was radio window and then the Archives balcony door. This is all going to come down to the last few moments for Oxygen to try and push into the bomb site. There goes J90. His Dream is able to collect another one, but now Foxay taking extreme damage, but everyone else for SSG falling. Fultz will strike back, reaching out into fountain, and there goes the Nitro cell. Fultz is down. It's just hot and alone in a 1v3. Make it a 1v2, a 1v1 against only one gun standing. There goes Fish, the plate going down. Fox gets off the plant, but the time will expire. Hot and Cold wins the 1v3. Look at the celebration as he leaps out of his chair.